What's up, guys? JT Postman here. We are back with another episode of our New York Islanders Be a GM mode. And in this episode, we're not going to be doing a live commentary because I ended up losing the recording to this video. So I've done it in the past. I actually went back and I recorded my screen basically. So it was in the kind of like the video player. So you guys will see a couple times it'll exit full screen and it'll end up kind of shrinking, and then I ended up having to put it back into full screen, but eventually it ended up just not being able to, like, it only went there for a few seconds, so I ended up just leaving it not in full screen, so you guys will see that. It's kind of annoying, but I didn't want to just skip it. I couldn't skip the episode, so I figured I'll just go back, I'll clip it up, and I'll commentate over it. So we are facing in this episode the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round of the playoffs, and as you guys can see on their first line, Jeff Skinner, Evgeny Malkin, and P. Taves. So pretty good first line to get the center playmaker combo. I mean, they don't have to be insane overalls. They just need to be, if they have the right player types and the right individual stats, then they should be good. And sniper, playmaker, power forward, 88, 86, and 85. That should be pretty dominant. That's a pretty good first line. And then the second line, you've got Ugly, Elias Lindholm, and Ramholt. Again, not the greatest overalls, but you've got a playmaker who's 86 overall. As you can see, it just exited full screen. I had to go back and put it back there. Yeah, so you've got the playmaker and two snipers, so could still get some goals in that line. The third, yeah, as you guys can see, it only lasted a few seconds until I had to make it full screen again. So eventually I just left it at, you know, not full screen. But the third line, Kyle Clifford. I'm pretty sure we had Kyle Clifford at one point, so he's against us now. Stevens, and then Mustonen. 85 playmaker, 82 playmaker, and 82 grinder. Not the greatest chemistry there. I mean, two playmakers and a grinder. I mean, not the greatest, but decent overalls. And I'm pretty sure this is where I just leave it at not full screen. Yeah, I just left it. But and then you've got Jay Stahl. I'm not sure if that's Jordan Stahl or if that's Jared Stahl. I would assume it's Jordan. I did make Jared Stahl better at the beginning of the game. But I'm pretty sure it's Jordan Stahl. And then the defense, you can see Hogbomb, Justin Falk, who's 89 overall, Stanton and Folan, who are 81, Murphy, who's 80, and Vatanen. They got Sammy Vatanen, who's 80. So not a very good defensive core at all. I mean, four of those defensemen are top 6. Hogbomb's the top 4, and then Falk is really the only top 2. If you could even, yeah, I'd say 89. 89 and above is top 2. So not the greatest defensive core, but in the net, they've got Cal Lack, 92 overall, and Anton Khudobin, 82. So 92 overall goaltender, that is going to be very, very tough to go up against. Now, as you guys can see, we go into Game 1 here at home at Nassau Coliseum. Second last year here, Ryan Strome and Elias Lindholm trade goals. The second line centers in the first period. Second period, no scoring. And then the third period. So we need a goal here. We need a goal. And Ryan Stanton, their defenseman, comes up with a goal. And then Skinner strikes right back after that. And then Folan, another defenseman. Oh, and then Matt Bolesky tried to get us back into it, but it was not enough. And we lose 4-2 in Game 1. So two of their defensemen they made fun of for being top 6 defensemen on the top 4. They ended up scoring a goal each, and now it's 1-0 Hurricanes in the series. But coming up, you guys can expect me to be recording a lot of NHL 16 gameplay. Let's just go ahead and jump into Game 2 here. The day I'm uploading this is actually the day that NHL 16 comes out. You guys can expect either, yeah, probably Wednesday morning gameplay of NHL 16. Maybe Be a Pro, EASHL, GM mode, all that stuff. Maybe even Hockey Ultimate Team. But you guys can see in the first period, Jeff Skinner and Mustonen, they're getting to us here. And then Ugly scores and makes it 3-0. We are just not doing well at all here. Stevens there makes it 4-0, but then Johnny Gaudreau tried to get us back into it, but then Taves makes it 5-1. We are just in shambles right now. The Islanders are running all over the place. They have no idea what to do right now. So I decided to go in and make a line change. We just got destroyed 2 games in a row. So I decided to move Manny Heatley down to the second line. He wasn't doing anything. Really, nobody was doing anything, but I just wanted to change up the chemistry a little bit, so I put Danner and Gaudreau on the first line, hoping that would spark something. That second line looks pretty filthy now. But, we'll see, man. We were just not doing well in the first couple of games at home. Disappointing the fans, but I decided to put Matt Bolesky on the second line. Veteran player, see if he could step up. Andrew Shaw was doing nothing, so I put him down. Decided to do nothing defensively. Defensively, just defensively, no matter how bad our team plays, I don't feel like I need to change it. Now going into Game 3 in Carolina, this is a must-win game for sure. We cannot go down 3-0 in this series. It's not an option. Not an option at all. In the second period, there was no scoring in the first. Second period, who will get the first goal of this crucial Game 3? And it is Tays, and it is 1-0 Carolina. So now going into the third period, we're down by a goal. We're down by 2 games in the series. We need our big-time players to step up. Tavares, Strome, Danner, Gautreau. These guys, they're just not stepping up right now. We need them to play at their best. Schutz as well, the guy we traded for. We've got some offensive defensemen who can put up goals, and they haven't done it so far in this series. Going down to the halfway mark of this third period, still no offense whatsoever, and we lose 1-0. So I decided to go in, get some more line changes. I went to jersey numbers by accident. But, yeah, man, that game we played amazing defensively and in the net. I decided to move Schutz to the second line center and Strome to the third line center and put Saad on the second line. I decided to put Cizikas actually on the first line. He's a veteran player, and I figured, you know what, he's been here forever. If anybody's going to step up, it's going to be Casey Cizikas. So I put him on the first line. I moved Shaw back to the third and put Manny Heatley on the third as well. So pretty balanced lines, I'd say, 1 through 3, and then the fourth line's pretty good as well. And I decided to move Oliver Ekman-Larsson down to the second line to try to spark those 2 offensive defensemen, Ekman-Larsson and Kapitanov. I figured maybe those two together for the first time in their careers, maybe they'll be able to get some offense, and maybe Halpern and Ekblad will be able to hold it down on the top line. And then, of course, I'm keeping Gibson in the net. There's no way I'm taking Gibson out of the net. Game 4, our backs are against the wall. We're facing a potential sweep in the second round, which would just be Evgeny Malkin. It would just be unacceptable for us to get swept after the President's Trophy winning season that we had, and Jeff Skinner makes it 2-0. I decided, I was irritated, I was just impatient. I decided to just quick sim the third period, and we lose 5-0. Yet again, we don't score a single goal in Game 4, and we get swept out of the playoffs by the Carolina Hurricanes. And as you guys can see, we had not a single player really step up and have a great playoff for us. Gautreau, Schutz, they had a decent amount of points, but nobody did anything special. Even Tavares only got 5 points, Strome 5. Manny Halpern actually got 4 points, which is pretty good for him as a defensive defenseman. But, really, man, nobody. Even Ekman-Larsson only got 2 points. It was just a bad playoff. Even Aaron Ekblad, he only got 1 point, or 0 points, and he was a -7. That is just unacceptable for our top 2 defenseman, Aaron Ekblad. But John Gibson, look at his stats. 2.35 goals against average, 92 save percentage. He did very well. John Gibson was not the reason why we lost. But his numbers were fine. He was fine. In the last 2 games, he only gave up he only gave up 1 goal in Game 3, and Game 5 doesn't matter. He didn't get any goal support, but as you guys can see, the Anaheim Ducks won the Stanley Cup, and the Utica Comets won the Calder Cup. So, oh man, very disappointing year in New York. We won the President's Trophy. We had a 63-15-4 year, which is historic, but we just couldn't muster up anything in the playoffs yet again, and we were kicked out in the second round. And it was a sweep as well. That's just unacceptable. We need to do something in the offseason. We need to do something big in the offseason. It seems like we do something big in every offseason. And I'm going to end up recording a video right after this, the finale. It's going to be a very long episode, so you guys, you won't be able to comment. I'm going to go in alone. I'm going to try to make some moves, and I'm going to try to bring the New York Islanders a second Stanley Cup. There's no way we can go 10 years and only win 1 cup. With all the success that we've had in the regular season, we need some playoff success to back that up. We've won a Stanley Cup, so there's no pressure for us to, win one. It's not like we haven't won one. But as you can see, Alexander Ovechkin retired after over 1,400 career games, over 1,500 points. Andrew Ladd as well retired. Marc-Edouard Vlasic, Dion Phaneuf. David Krejci, Nicholas Backstrom, Joe Pavelski, Bobby Ryan, Shea Weber. I mean, the NHL is... Everyone's retiring, man. Everyone's retiring. All these teams going downhill. But you can see Nicholas Backstrom playing with Ovechkin. He got over 1,100 points playing with Ovechkin. Unbelievable. Chris Letang retires. That's a big one. Let's see. Kyle Okposo on Florida. So after we traded Okposo to the Panthers, he ended up retiring at Panthers. So, you know, the Panther fans, he probably grew to be a fan favorite there. Ryan Callahan retired. Let's see. Matt Bolesky ended up retiring off our team. So a veteran player, after a great year, ended up retiring. So we have to replace him in the offseason. And that's pretty much it for the skaters. Now going into the goaltenders. Let's see who retired for the goaltenders. And I think I just went through the teams to see if anybody on our team retired. Or no, I looked at Carolina. It looks like Raffle and Sekera retired after they beat us, so nobody huge. Then looking at the goaltenders, Tuukka Rask retired, Anton Khudobin, and Semyon Varlamov, as well as Jimmy Howard, who is a free agent. So those are all the skaters and all the goaltenders that retired after year 9. So going into the final season, we have big expectations for this year. We have pretty much the same team going into next year. We're going to go into the draft, the offseason. We're going to do everything. Excuse me. We're going to do everything in the next episode. We're doing the draft. We're doing free agency. We're making some trades, possibly. Depending on who's in free agency, you may just want to sign somebody if we have the cap space. Yeah, we're going to try to win the cup. What more can I say? So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the New York Islanders BGM mode finale.